David Zritsky for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. So you can pretty much tell by the thumbnail that I'm pretty excited about something that I wanted to talk to you about. And I think you're excited about it too. What is it called? It's called James Bond 26. Not called anything right now, but that's what we're affectionately calling it, Bond 26. And I have a theory. And theories are as cheap as wet paper in a rainstorm. I don't even know what that means. This just comes to me. But my theory is based on some evidence that I wanted to roll out to you, the jury, the James Bond jury, and see what you have to think, because I know that we've had some very intense James Bond movies in the last few years, maybe even decades. Now, part of this was a Daniel Craig era, Daniel Craig, lots of pronunciations, era there, was very intense because the character was written that way, and Daniel Craig's portrayal was pretty intense. I liked it. I do. No Time to Die, yeah. But the rest of the Daniel Craig era, I really enjoyed. I love the intensity. I love that he was a badass Bond, all these things. But I've said for a very long time, I'm sort of missing the humor. I'm sort of missing the fun. And it's not just, I'm not talking about, pigeons and Tarzan yells and things like that. I'm really talking about Bond just sort of enjoying being Bond. I mean, we've seen that with Roger Moore. We've seen it with Pierce Brosnan. We've seen it even with Timothy Dalton, as serious as he was, certainly George Lazenby, and Sean Connery, who is the template. He seemed like he was enjoying being a secret agent, being a playboy, thwarting the bad guys, betting women, all the things, all the tropes that we sort of surrounded ourselves with James Bond, even the lifestyle aspects. But there's a certain disdain that we've seen Bond hold in the new era of Daniel Craig. And I asked on YouTube, for example, lately, my audience on YouTube, does the Daniel Craig era still feel fresh, or does it feel very distant? And most of them said it felt distant. And it felt distant because, first of all, it's been a little while since a movie. But the other thing, that it felt distant because I think people are ready to put that to bed. And I believe another group that's looking to put that intensity, that lack of Bond having fun or seemingly to enjoy what he does even, is Amazon. And I'll tell you why, because I genuinely feel like we're gearing up for a very fun, playful ride, and there's some evidence. So first of all, there is a trend, there's a shift. And whenever there's a trend and shift in the entertainment space, I study this stuff. I look at it, I speak about it to people in the industry that I know as friends. I speak to friends that aren't in the industry to get, the layman's point of view. And right now, there's some tonal vibes in pop culture that the popular movies, I'm not talking about the Oscar winners or the ones that are a bit quirky or art house or any of those type of things, but the ones that are absolute gangbusters have a certain fun factor to them. And I want to give you an example of why I think Bond may actually fall within this wonderful and very embracing window of fun. We've got to talk about the bait. So what is the bait? We're not going fishing here on the Bond Experience. The Bait is an upcoming comedy. It stars and actually was co-created by Riz Ahmed, who is, you've probably seen him. A lot of people saw him in Rogue One, but he's been in a lot of different things. And he was even circulated around as a potential Bond. And based on that premise and how chaotic that was when he was rumored to be a potential Bond, he wrote a 6-part comedy series that's coming out. And a trailer came out and shocked us all. So let's take a break and let's watch the trailer in case you haven't seen it.
Oh my God. Sharp Eye, are you going to be the next James Bond?
What?
Huh? Wait. It might be Cap.
Can I have a look at that?
Oh, no. It's legit. What the Oh my God, what's Bond? This is crazy. Wait. Chill, man.
Check the website. It's BBC. We can't trust him.
Craig Daniel मर गया क्या साला?
Bro, why didn't you tell me? Sneaky bastard.
It's just an audition.
This is what you've been doing this whole time, like.
Super James Bond मेरा शाजू.
Listen, it's an audition. It's a photo from today's audition. That's all it is.
Don't
क्या
make
हुआ
sense,
शाजू?
though, man. James Bond is white.
चुप चुप. हमेशा नजर लगाता मेरे बच्चों को चुप.
I'm the. He's playing. Do you know how much sex James Bond does? वो तो sex करता है. करते.
तो करता है तो क्या हो गया? हाँ तो उसमें क्या हो गया?
I'm the. And he's shaggy.
Bond.
ये
I'm
उन
actually
लोगों
Bond.
का मुल्क है इनको भड़काओ नहीं.
Listen,
Lucky,
Baba, it's
why?
okay to be a little bit excited. You know, it's nice even just to have the opportunity. It's a big deal. You know, Brown, James Bond. You should be proud.
It's mad.
You know.
This guy's face is gonna be blasted everywhere. Imagine it.
Daniel Craig got paid 20 M's for the last movie.
My शाजू will get 21.
It's just calm down. It's just an audition, yeah?
Call me if you need a body double for sex scenes.
पहले चुप रहो. तुम चुप रहो.
Could you tell her to call me as soon as she comes back in? Yeah, sure. Okay, bye.
फोन कर
ये
देना.
रुक तो सही 2 मिनट मेरी बात.
I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I've just got to sort this out and work it out.
Cuz, yo, look at me. I'm proud of you. Yeah? James Bond, my guy.
Let's
Come on.
see what happens.
Of course, they shut up. But do they know about the height?
What do you mean?
They're gonna give you special shoes. Like James Bond's a big, innit? I'm just saying it for you.
Okay, so you've got the vibe there, right? I mean, it's a comedic drama. I mean, that's my takeaway, at least in the short 2 minutes that it has. It's what has it got? It's got satire, it's got humor, it's got gender bending energy to attract newer audiences. It's got all these different things. It pokes fun at itself. But the other thing is, it really has these laugh out moments that wrap itself around emotional chaos. And that is some of the things that we've seen in some of the previous Bond films. And yes, it's sort of poking affectionate fun at this whole Bond obsession that we have. I felt like when I watched that trailer, at first I'm like, did one of us write that? Like I'm thinking of the writers that I know. We know a lot of writers out there. And I'm thinking like, did they write it? And then I did a little bit more research and Riz Ahmed wrote it himself with a small group of writers. And this was a passion project for him, but this could have come from any one of us. I mean, that's the reality. This could have come from any one of us. And so I started to look at it and go, my gosh, this is really a crystal ball. And it's a combining of different worlds. It's the world of acting and entertainment. It's the world of Bond obsession. It's the world of Bond fandom. And it's also Amazon. So it crosses into the actual world. And yes, it's sewn together with connective tissue of James Bond. So I think that there's a sort of absurdity to what's going on. I saw this and I'm like, at first I thought it was a 2-minute, almost like SNL joke. And then I'm like, no, this is being brought to you by Amazon. And so it's this thing that kind of rips apart Bond culture, which that suggests something. I mean, Amazon, if nothing else, has a pulse on what people want and like. Amazon itself is doing very good, not just in the customer experience and shopping, but in its entertainment venue. A lot of the shows are extremely popular, and they're gearing towards sort of a more iconic aspect to the way they write heroes. And I'm going to get to that in a second. Pump the brakes. I will get there because there's another component of what Amazon is doing in the entertainment world that takes this evidence and brings it home. So the fact that they're rolling this out more than likely before they announce an actual Bond, because can you imagine that? They announce a Bond and then they have this series, that would confuse everybody. I think what they're going to do is they're going to have this series, they're going to wait a couple beats, and then they'll announce Bond maybe latter part of the year. They're going to give it some space. But in the meantime, I think this is sending a signal to us. It's sending a signal to me as a super fan. And that signal is, we're going to have fun with this. We're not going to be in dire straits. We're going to still take, as the writer of Bond 26 is saying, we're going to take this very serious and pay homage to the fact that this is an iconic franchise, an iconic character. We're not going to mess around with that. But at the same time, we're here to have fun. Even when you watch your favorite Bond film, you are having fun, even when it's intense. has a certain audaciousness to it. So I don't believe that Bond 26 is going to be this straight-laced seriousness. I think Bond may be tongue-in-cheek. And by the way, I know that the video game that's coming out, delayed but coming out in May, has tongue-in-cheek, it has fun, but it's also takes very seriously the fact that Bond is still a badass. It does that combination that I think Brosnan's Bond, I always cite this, Brosnan's Bond got it right. They got the Connery, they got the Roger Moore quirkiness and fun, and then Daniel Craig went a little bit to the extreme of like, there's a little humor and poking, but it's far and few between. It's like a Ritz cracker in the desert. It's rare. I don't know what that means either, but here we go. So David, as he talks to himself alone in his studio, it's a problem. David, you mentioned that there were 2 pieces of evidence. The bait sounds like just one. But there was another trailer that came out, and I want to show actually the teaser to the trailer, because nowadays you don't just get a trailer. That would be too easy. You get a teaser to a trailer. So this is a teaser to a trailer of a movie that Amazon is releasing in June. Let's watch the teaser and then I'll come back to you.
Not long ago, when times were simpler, this was a healthy breakfast. This was a powerful workout. And this was a hero. Perhaps now more than ever, we need that kind of hero again.
I have the power. I watched that. Yes, I was that 80s. Was I an 80s child? Gosh, was I a teenager? I don't want to talk about it. I was a man child. I'm still a man child. Toys, anybody? But that just hits all the nostalgic notes. But it does something else. Yes, this movie is based on the nostalgic He-Man franchise, but it also is leaning to very vibrant, colorful fun. There's a ton of fun factor in this teaser. The very fact that they know that they're reinvigorating, they're recharging and releasing something that was a bit quirky back then and even more quirky now. I mean, the hero's wearing like suspenders and a little loincloth. I mean, we kind of get it, right? There's so many memes out there about He-Man. And even Skeletor is, he's this like super buff, mostly naked skeleton blue guy. It's bonkers. And you got Jared Leto, this is going to be, I think this is going to make $1 billion, but that's a video for another day. What this did was the teaser itself says something to us Bond fans. Number one, Amazon, who puts these trailers together, is very self-aware. They're very self-aware of a nostalgic tone, and that nostalgic tones lean heavily on things that are fun. Visual energy, as they call it in marketing terms, that aims for fun over grimness. I mean, this, and then if you see the full 2-minute trailer, and please do, because you'll laugh and have fun, of He-Man, it's bonkers. It's colors, it's vibrant. There's nothing grim about it. You're just like pumping the air throughout the whole thing, like Maverick and F1 and some of our favorite blockbuster videos that are out now, movies, are just this pure fun factor where, yes, even the hero, dare I say, saving the day or whatever mission they're on, is having fun. And I think that if you combine these two very recent, I mean, they came out in the same week, directions that Amazon's going, plus the very fact that we've spoken to Jack Carr about the Terminal List. I mean, he's writing and has written a bunch of series for Amazon that are very successful. And he told me in an interview that, they don't hang over his shoulders looking for, political messages, or they're not looking for, things that are restrictive. They're looking for things where people have fun watching and being entertained. We want to be entertained. Do we need to think? Do we need to rethink who we are? I mean, Bond is about to have fun. It's escapism for anything that we see and experience at our jobs and our family, on the news. And I have a feeling that Amazon, here we go again. Oh, look at that. It's a ba-boom, ba-boom. But that is a profound pulse. They have a finger on the pulse of what we want. What is the customer experience, if you will, of the moviegoer waiting to go see James Bond? I could almost see, when they eventually do have teaser trailers for Bond 26, them also playing on nostalgia. This whole idea that, we, gray-haired, silver, you're stretching it, David, it's gray. People have a family, and we will engage others, and we will get younger people involved, and younger people like you are watching this right now and consuming this on YouTube and other channels, and you crave this nostalgic thing. I mean, Stranger Things, anybody? Is that the #1 streaming thing? All of these is evidence that we want things that are fun, nostalgic, and play with vibrant energy. And I think that will translate perfectly and filter into James Bond. So we're not watching, sorry, No Time to Die, another Bond where he gets blown up by missiles, or he's having kids, or he's just not having fun. Like, I want to see Bond going out on a mission where, he's got a wry smile and he's enjoying it. Like, he enjoys getting one up on the bad guy, thwarting the villains and the henchmen, wooing and charming people and women, and using his wiles and his charm and his skills. And having these bombastic moments where we just laugh and point at the screen. I think Amazon gets it. I think if we have more things like The Bait and Masters of the Universe, the big studio releases right now that are leaning towards this tonal variety, as I'll call it, this comedy, nostalgia, self-aware fun, not just grim, gritty realism, I think they're going to be the winners. And I think Amazon is current enough to understand that this is what people want to see. And by the way, when I say fun, I feel like I always need to say this for two people out there. I'm not talking funny. I'm not talking about Bill Murray as James Bond or anything like that. I'm not talking about clowns in comedy or anything. No. Look at so many of the movies that we gravitate to, James Bond-wise, and you'll see that there is this tonality of fun. So here we are. Now, if I'm providing you evidence, I also want to talk about what do we know that's fact, because I'm making a lot of assumptions, speculation. That's what we're going to do into the movie releases. Sorry. But I've written down a couple of notes right here. First of all, a lot of longtime fans like you and me, we have a lot of chatter, and we recall sort of the more Brosnan tongue-in-cheek wit and fun gadgets. And although we don't want a pure swing back to all of that, we have cried out and said our favorite movies are the ones that do lean in that direction. So that's number one. We know that as a fact because we listen to each other. We are the audience. But the second thing is, we've got to look at the franchise new creators they're in place. Remember, they've been announced. And there's entire groups, islands, the world of Bond, as we call it now, that have formed around them. And they've talked about making something that is same, but different, which to me signals something. If I was to do my marketing translate, that signals a balance between legacy, but also a fresh tone, not just a super serious spy drama, but legacy, but with a fresh tone. So keeping some aspects fresh and new and unique where we're like, whoa, I didn't see that coming, but also keeping the same tone of this fun factor. And honestly, the success of the movies, like take a look at Barbie, that shows audiences crave entertainment that's bold, vibrant, and fun, that they'll go back to it generationally as well, which the generation aspect, that's how you capture people, is you release the fun factor, let them feel it, let them talk about it, and bring them in. This is typically in an argument or a debate where somebody has their closing remarks or closing evidence, but I'm going to do something different because I think this is going to be a fun and playful entry in the world of Bond, but not swinging to comedy. Of course not. I think it's going to be very respectful, but I think there will be smirks. I think there's going to be these clever beats that we've seen in our favorite James Bond films, and I think they're going to deliver the one thing that I want as a Bond fan, and that is escapist energy, which is this thing that people are talking about when they release themselves to a movie. Any movie, doesn't need to be a James Bond movie, but when you stop realizing that you're in a theater or you're at home on a couch or eating popcorn, or there's somebody by you, that ends and you're in the movie and you are surrounded by it. That experience is escapist energy. And this energy, I would almost bet that Amazon is looking to capture that and deliver it to us. And I'm here for that energy. I am psyched. The evidence that we have with what we're seeing, the tonality and how they're moving things forward, I'm in. I'm in for it. And you should get excited too. My opinion. There you go. There you have it. We'll keep watch. And yes, I will be watching avidly The Bait because I can't wait. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I'm here for it. Anyway, this has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. We'll see you all real soon. Take care. Thanks for watching the Bond Experience. If you like what you saw, why don't you subscribe to the channel by clicking this button right here. We'll keep you up on everything new that's happening in the world of Bond. And speaking of something new, here's something new just for you because we know you so well. Talk to you soon.